What was inside this 4,500-year-old pyramid that stands 480 feet above the ground? That researchers sent a robotic camera inside just to see it. At one point, the robotic camera stopped, because in front of it there was a stone slab. Researchers believe that behind this slab, there must be a secret hidden for the last 4,500 years. They wanted to know this secret at any cost, so they attached a drill machine in front of the robot, which made a small hole in that stone slab. Then a camera was sent through that hole, and what it saw on the other side was a scene that no one had seen for the last 4,500 years. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Insident, where we explore mysterious and unbelievable facts from around the world. Once again, welcome to Misr, also known as Egypt. Here there are a total of 138 tall pyramids, which for thousands of years have faced dozens of earthquakes and many dangerous storms. But none of them has moved from its place. Among them, the tallest and largest pyramid is called the Great Pyramid of Giza. The base area of this pyramid is about 13 acres. Amazingly, about 9 football fields can fit inside it. According to estimates, a total of 2.3 million huge stones were used in this pyramid, many of which weighed up to 50 tons. If its total weight is estimated, the pyramid weighs around 6 million tons, which is equal to the weight of about 12 Burj Khalifas. But the question is, what was the purpose of building such huge and magnificent pyramids? Thousands of years ago, when humans did not even have modern tools, how were the walls of these pyramids leveled inch by inch? How were 50-ton stones cut into square shapes and lifted up to a height of 480 feet without cranes? And which engineers built these pyramids in such a way that all of their sides are set exactly at an angle of 51.5 degrees? You will learn all of this in today's video. Challenge number 1. For many centuries, different research teams have been trying to understand the construction technique of this pyramid. The biggest question was how each side of the pyramid was aligned exactly to north, south, east, and west without using a compass. Many experts believe that the architects of that time first searched for land that could support the weight of millions of tons of stones. After that, they used the help of polar stars, the stars that help determine the poles of the Earth. With this basic technique, thousands of years ago the pyramid was aligned perfectly with the 4 directions. Challenge number 2. The next challenge was leveling the ground. If the 13 acres of land on which the pyramid was to be built were even slightly uneven, then building this mountain of 2.3 million stones would have been impossible. Experts believe that the engineers might have built small walls around the construction site and filled the area with water. Then they matched the ground level with the water level. Any part of the ground that did not match the water level was cut down with chisels and hammers until the ground became perfectly level. Some experts also believe that ancient Egyptians used a simple tool whose ends had wooden pieces, and in the center there was a rope with a stone attached. If the stone hung exactly in the center line, it meant the ground was perfectly level. Challenge number 3. Now the directions were set, the markings were done, and the ground level was prepared. It was time to start the construction. For this, millions of tons of large stones were required. But to cut these stones they had neither grinders nor modern machines. Yet they still managed to cut stones weighing up to 50 tons and shape them into squares and rectangles. Experts believe that the chisels used in pyramid construction were not made only from copper. Because copper is soft and cannot cut stone easily, they mix copper with arsenic to make stronger tools. These chisels were hammered onto the stones with wooden mallets, and after hours of effort the stones were shaped properly. Challenge number 4. The special type of stone used in the pyramid, which is now called limestone, was quarried about 250 kilometers away from Giza in a place called Tura. The problem was how to transport these massive stones. Each stone weighed around 50 tons, which is equal to about 3 passenger buses. And hundreds of thousands of such stones had to be transported for a single pyramid. Amazingly, this work was done using rivers and boats. The river between Tura and Giza was used, and the stones were loaded onto large boats and transported to the construction site. Experts believe that loading and unloading such huge stones required an army of at least 500 workers at the same time. Challenge number 5. By now the stones had been cut, transported, and construction had begun by placing them one on top of another. But the biggest question remained. How were these heavy stones lifted to such a great height? Many experts believe that ramps were built before the construction, either spiral ramps or zigzag ramps. It is believed that an army of workers pulled these 50,000 kilogram stones upward using ropes and wooden sledges. Challenge number 6. The pyramid not only had massive outer stones, but also compartments, passageways, and several small tunnels inside it. Most of the stones used were limestone, but one thing surprised experts. Inside some chambers the stones used were not limestone but granite. Granite is one of the hardest stones in the world, second only to diamond. Even today granite cannot be cut easily without powerful grinders. But how the Egyptians cut granite so perfectly 4,500 years ago remained a mystery for a long time. Finally, after many years, experts solved this mystery. They discovered that granite was cut using a special saw that had no teeth. This saw was moved back and forth across the stone, while sand or gravel was poured between the blade and the stone. Slowly, the stone would start cutting. Experts say that cutting a single large granite block could take up to 4 months. But several questions still remain unanswered. What was the real purpose of building these pyramids? How many workers worked on them at the same time? And when the robotic camera drilled through the stone slab inside the pyramid, what exactly did it see on the other side? A sight that no one had witnessed for the past 4,500 years. You will learn all of this and much more in part 2 of this video. Thank you very much for your love, comments, and likes. We will meet again in the next exciting part of this video.